Hi, boys and girls. My name is Miss Cameron. What's your name? Okay, that's a nice name. Today, I'm going to be your religious teacher, and we are going to be looking at the topic, Rites of Passage in Islam. Do you know what is a rite of passage? Think about it. A rite of passage is a ceremony that marks a person's progress from one phase to another, meaning they correspond with important events in human life. For example, birth, marriage, coming of age, death, and let us look more closely at some of these examples. At birth, Muslim women tend to prefer all female attendants, whether they be doctors, nurses, midwives, or female relatives. However, it is permitted in Islam for male doctors to attend to a pregnant woman. There is no prohibition for fathers attending the birth of their child. The Muslim call to prayer, or adhan, are the first words a newborn Muslim baby should hear. They are whispered into the right ear by the child's father, whether it is a baby boy or a baby girl. Do you remember what the adhan says? It says, God is great, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Come to prayer. Something else also happens at birth. The baby's first taste should be something sweet. So the parents may chew a piece of date and rub the juice along the baby's gums. It helps to get the baby's digestive tracts flowing. Several things happen at the 7th day of life. Now, remember, 7th day of life. Babies are still very young. But let's look at a few things that happen during that time. There are a number of events that take place. First, the baby's head is shaved. Yes, you heard me right. The baby's head is shaved. So all the hair goes off the head. This shows that the baby is a servant of Allah. The hair is weighed, and the amount that it is worth is given to the poor in silver. So, the more hair that the baby has on its head is the more silver that is given to charity. Ideally, Muslim baby boys are also circumcised when they are 7 days old, although it can take place anywhere between that time up to the age of puberty. Now, puberty, I won't say is at 12, because remember, our bodies are different, so persons tend to start earlier than others. At this time also, a baby boy or girl is given a name, and this can be done for persons who choose to convert to the Islamic faith as well. Now let's look at the Aqiqah. The Aqiqah is traditionally carried out on the 7th day. But what is the Aqiqah? It's the naming ceremony, and it's a celebration that involves slaughtering of sheep. When they slaughter the sheep, the meat is distributed between the family and friends. Similar to when we have a blessing in Christianity. A celebration or feast is held afterwards to honor the newborn baby. Muslim children are taught about their faith from an early stage. Basically, the starting of birth. Because remember, we said the adhan is whispered into the air. There is no specific coming of age ceremony in Islam, but there are several significant stages on the way to the adult faith that are marked. In some countries, at the age of 4, yes, just 4, a ceremony called the Bismillah takes place. The child reads the first verses of the Quran. Another important stage is when a child participates in their first fast during the month of Ramadan. And remember, guys, what is a fast? Do you remember? A fast is when you abstain from eating food or drink for a period of time. Now let us look at marriage. While some marriage practices can be traced to the actions and sayings of Muhammad, many traditions are a product of local culture. Some ceremonies last for days, while others can be very short. The color of the bride's dress also varies. Traditionally, in Christianity, we would have worn white, but for Islam, the color can be any color. And the nature of the feast and the celebration also varies. Any number of family members are allowed to come. So, you can invite as many as you want and imagine a table full of food. Muslim weddings are not based on the values that the Western world holds. The actual Muslim wedding is known as nikah. Let me hear you pronounce that word. Nikah. It's a simple ceremony at which the bride does not have to be present as long as she sends 2 witnesses to the drafted agreement. That's kind of different, don't you think? Yes, because we are accustomed to a man and a woman being present for a marriage ceremony. Sometimes in Islam, the bride and groom are situated in different rooms and sign the contract separately. Let's look a little bit at the marriage contract. In every religion, the marriage contract is different. In Islam, the marriage contract must include 4 of the following major things. The first one is polygamy. The second, divorce. The third one, where the couples will live. And the fourth one is responsibilities. Do you think Muslim men in Jamaica have more than 1 wife? Yes, they are allowed to have as many as 5 wives. This is what I mean when I said the word polygamy. I know what you're thinking. How is it possible, according to Jamaica's law, to have so many wives? Let me tell you how. The first wife is registered by the Jamaican law. The other 4 wives have to go through the Islamic Council in Jamaica. Death is something that we all must experience at some point or another. And in Islam, just as at the beginning of the stage of birth, the adhan is the first thing that the baby hears, well, it is also the last word said on a dying person's lips. After a person dies, the corpses are covered and buried as soon as possible. The graves are marked very minimally. The body is buried with the head facing the direction of Mecca. Why? This is to imitate the direction of prayer. The Quran teaches many things. Muslims believe that all that they do on earth will be judged and used in evidence on the day of judgment. So, boys and girls, what did you learn today? We learned so much about a Muslim's life from birth to death. Do you remember what these stages are called? If you said rites of passage, you are very correct. Thank you for watching. Bye.